Damn, I'm looking like a Klingon. You, don't you agree? No, don't agree with me on that. Hey, today what I want to talk about is something that I should have and really wanted to and thought about on Monday. And what am I talking about? Well, it's news that's already out there now. But this is just my opinion and nobody else's. Nobody suggested. Nobody's put anything in my head about what I'm about to talk about. And this is Whoopi Goldberg and The View, the comment that she made on Monday. And if you haven't heard, so, first of all, I've been watching The View since day one. I used to watch it all the time religiously, but they started moving towards one side more than the other, and I just ran out of time. We'll just put it that way. But I do catch it as often as possible. If not live, I do record it and then I do watch it. But it happened to be on Monday. I was watching this live, and Monday was January 31st, 2022. So I was watching this live, and the main reason I was watching this and paying attention was because they're talking about the situation with Spotify, Neil Young, and Joe Rogan. So I think how this came about was that they brought up a discussion about a school district in Washington State and also in Tennessee someplace. And this was about a couple of books. So in Washington State, in Mukilteo School District, I think it had something to do with To Kill a Mockingbird. So the district had decided to pull that book from mandatory reading, I believe. And then they're talking about Mouse, which is a book on the Holocaust. So there's some people that said that it was offensive to them because of nudity and some other stuff. Well, and then this is a quote. So this is what Whoopi said. So then what she said is, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. Can you freaking believe that? And then Whoopi says, you guys don't understand. You don't get it. It's not race. And I kid you not. Some of the hosts, the other hosts on the show, they kind of looked at her like, what are you talking about? And right then and there, that second, I knew she was so wrong. And then when she said, it was the white people against the white people, killing the whites, killing whites. Wasn't racism, wasn't race. That was when I definitely said to myself, something needs to be done about Whoopi. She is very opinionated, in my opinion, and so are the other hosts on there. And oftentimes they push their objective, or they try to, I believe, in my opinion again, sway the viewers to one side or the other, whatever side that they feel is correct. Now, when Whoopi said this about the Holocaust, like I said, I thought immediately somebody needs to speak up and say something about this. I picked up the phone, I called my sister, and I said, you would not believe what I just heard. And I told her my opinion about this. Now, I didn't know if anything was going to be happening, anything was going to be done by the network. We've heard in years past, comedians, and just she's a comedian herself, but comedians saying something, and then somebody says, well, I took offense to that because that was a racial slur, or I was very uncomfortable. And then next thing you know, that comedian is no longer a comedian. They just lost their job. But the whole thing about that is you go into these comedy shows expecting to possibly hear things that are derogatory, things that are uncomfortable, especially if you know who that comedian is. But anyhow, back to the story with Whoopi. So I thought to myself, is anything going to happen? Is anybody going to say anything? And yes, Whoopi has now been suspended, at least for a couple of weeks. to reflect on what she said, because The View is, I don't know how many people watch The View, but there's a huge audience. And again, going back to the Rogan thing, that was part of the things that they're saying is, it's because he has so many listeners and so many followers and he reaches out and touches so many people. Well, this is that same situation. And for somebody to say that the Holocaust had nothing to do about race, really, from my standpoint, does not understand part of what the Holocaust was about. Okay. But the president of ABC did the right thing. Immediately suspended Whoopi. And like I said a second ago, suspended Whoopi so she could take time to reflect upon what she said, her comments. I'm sure it made a lot of people feel uncomfortable. I'm not Jewish. I don't have any ties to the Holocaust, but I have compassion. I understand. And I knew that it was wrong and not right what she said. What do you guys think? I mean, do you have an opinion on this? Did you see it? Did you see it live? Have you read about it? What do you think? Should Whoopi have been suspended like she is, or should she be allowed to continue to host? Was it the best thing that the president of ABC did, is to tell Whoopi, you're suspended, take some time to reflect and think about what you said? Now, Whoopi did make a public apology on it, but, as oftentimes as she and they and other people say, it's too late. Once you say it, you said it. Your apology is no good. Sometimes maybe they might say, okay, the apology is good or acceptable. But for me, I am glad that this is happening. I have not heard her apology. In fact, I'll probably go and watch or listen to it right now. So again, let me know. What is it that you think should have been done, needed to have been done, needs to be done? Is the punishment proper right now? The punishment meaning the suspension for a couple of weeks. I'm just wondering, will it be just a couple of weeks? Are people going to be accepting of Whoopi coming back to the show to host? She really was the host moderator. I mean, she was the lead person. So she is the head of the table, so to speak. What do you think? Is she deserving to come back to it? Is she going to feel like she wants to come back to it? I don't know. Anyhow, that's what I have to say about that. And like I said, as far as the Rogan, Spotify, Neil Young, that stuff, we're going to talk about that next time. Thanks a lot. My name is Chuck Tuck. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.